guys, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another slay. This look I created is super simple, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I only used 2 eyeshadows for this look. I started off priming my eyes using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define concealer in the shade C12. And then I'm going into the Juvia's Place Zulu palette and using the orange shade here. With a blending brush, I'm gonna go ahead and start buffing that into the crease. I wanted this look to be really diffused, no harsh lines or anything like that. So I'm just making sure to apply this color really softly. To blend out the edges, I'm going into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and with the shade Creamsicle, I'm gonna go ahead and use an even fluffier brush and just use that to blend out any harsh lines. Then going back in with any leftover orange eyeshadow on my brush and going over the crease just to reinforce that orange eyeshadow. I'm also gonna go ahead and place that orange on the lid area, and that's literally all I use for eyeshadow. This look is really focused on the eyeliner, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that next. I really made sure to take my time with this eyeliner because Lord knows it's been a million years since I've done a bold winged liner. So thank goodness it came out really nice the first time. So just make sure you're taking your time. Start with your line really thin and just kind of start building it up as you go along. To really make sure that the line is nice and crisp on the outside, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning everything up using a little bit of concealer and a flat concealer brush. Then I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara to prep for my lashes. The false lashes that I'm using today are from Bold Face Makeup, and these are in the style Bold is Beautiful. They're really cute, wispy lash, nothing too crazy. I just wanted the focus to really be on the wing, so I didn't want to do anything too intense for lashes for today. But to make sure they blend in really well with my natural lashes, I'm gonna go ahead and use some lash curlers and just press those little babies together. Moving on to the skin, I'm using a few Covergirl products to prep my skin and for foundation. To moisturize my skin, I'm using their Glow Lotion. This is in the lighter of the 2 shades. Then to prime my skin, I'm using the new Covergirl Skin Smoothing Primer. I really like this primer because it feels really moisturizing, but I don't know, it's just a really interesting formula. It's super moisturizing, but it doesn't feel oily. But I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth that all over the skin. I'm super excited about this foundation as well. This is the new Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation. This foundation is a light to medium coverage, but it's definitely buildable, and it just gives off this super smooth finish. It still looks like my skin, except more perfected. So I was really loving the formula of this foundation, and I'm definitely gonna be using it for future tutorials. So after my foundation is blended and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to concealer. Every time I use my Kat Von D concealer, I always underestimate the coverage, and it never helps because I picked out a color that's way too light for me. So I ended up applying this concealer on the inner part of the eye and then trying to blend it out into an LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn. So it did take me a while to kind of blend this concealer out, but it ended up working out in the end. My concealer is still a little too bright for my liking, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix it later on in another step, but I just wanna make sure to set it at this point. So I'm using the Too Faced Sweet Peach powder. I'm just gonna use that to set all of the areas that I applied my concealer. So underneath the eyes, forehead, nose, chin, a little bit around the mouth area, and yeah, all the usual places. I'm going in with the Covergirl Vitalist powder. This one is in the shade Warm Beige. And I'm just going over all the areas that I basically applied concealer just to make sure that it's not too bright and nothing is like overdoing it as far as like concealer is concerned. To contour and to bronze up my skin, I'm using the Anastasia Powder Contouring Kit. I use the warmer shade in the middle as well as the darker shade in the upper right-hand corner. The warmer shade I use basically to bronze, and then the darker color I use to contour. Before I go ahead and work on my brows, I'm going to use a little bit of the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. Then while that lash primer is drying, I'm going to use some of the ABH Dip Brow Pomade, and this one is in the shade Ebony, just to fill in my brows and kind of create like that feathered look. I also wanted to do some cute faux freckles, so I used the Covergirl brow pencils as well as the brown liquid liner that they have, and I went ahead and dotted some of the lightest brown pencil onto my skin first. I wanted to kind of build like the faux freckles and not just go straight into like, you know, little like dark dots. So the way I use the brown liquid liner for the freckles is I went ahead and dotted them on my finger first and then pressed that against my skin. I felt like it would have been a lot easier as well as faster doing it that way. I just went ahead and dotted onto my finger and then just pressed onto my skin. And if you feel like it's a little too harsh or something like that, you can go in with your powder and just kind of pat it down to tone down the shade. Moving on to highlights. Yay! This is always my favorite part. I'm using the Joy Cosmetics Strobe Drops in the shade Peach first. This is one of my favorite liquid highlighters to use before I use my powder highlighter. So I'm applying that onto all the high points of my face first. So cheekbones, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, a little bit on the forehead, cupid's bow, and chin. Then to kind of diffuse the liquid highlighter, I'm going in with Gilded Honey from Laura Geller and applying it kind of like on the edges of the liquid highlighter. And I'm also applying this onto all the other areas that I want to highlight. So the inner corners and as well as a little bit of extra onto the forehead, bridge of the nose, chin, and lips. Moving on to lips, I'm using the MAC Cork lip pencil to line my lips first. This is one of my favorite lip pencils to use when I'm doing a nude lip look. It's one of my go-tos. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips first with that. Then to fill them in, I'm using the Ruby Kisses liquid lipstick in the shade Dune. And of course we had to pop on some lip gloss. I've been loving lip gloss. I don't know why, it's like just like a new obsession for me. I'm using 2 lip glosses from NYX. These are the butter glosses in the shade Fortune Cookie and Madeline. And that pretty much concludes this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's really, really simple. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys will be able to get it. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video.